Hi, and welcome to Quick Tips for Preschool. Today we're talking about one-to-one correspondence. That is basically a really big set of words that means counting with one item at a time and making sure you're only counting once for each item that you're counting. So what does that mean? It's actually a really important skill that helps your child develop number sense and math skills later in life. It seems really simple that if you were to give your child a set of items and say count this, that they would only count each thing once and not skip any, but it's actually a really difficult skill for kids. One way to help them practice is to line up items into a line and help them touch one thing at a time. So, for example, I have some markers here, and you could give them a set of markers or whatever you have at your house. I just happen to have markers right here, and have them count one item at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And notice that when I'm moving my finger, I'm not saying the next number until I'm touching the next object. So very often you'll see a child who's new to counting say the numbers faster than they move their fingers because they might be, just trying to show off how great they are at counting. So you might see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not very accurate counting, right? They're going in order, so that's really good. But their counting is not accurate because they're not moving their finger at the same speed that they're saying the numbers. Or you might see a kid skip over some and they might go 1, 2. Also not accurate because we just skipped a whole bunch. So the easiest way to teach your child to do this is to first line up items in a line. It's a lot harder to accidentally skip one if they're in a line. And then as they get more confident with it, you might say, maybe you have some blocks. You might kind of shuffle them up so they're not in a nice, neat line and try to see if they can still do one at a time. So that's one way to practice one-to-one correspondence when counting. Again, this is a really important skill to develop because if you're not able to accurately identify how many items there are, if you're doing some kind of math problem, you're probably not going to be able to do the rest of the math problem later on in life. So being able to accurately identify a quantity is really important. You can practice this in a lot of ways. I like to just incorporate it into daily life as much as possible. Hey, how many books did we read last night? Oh, I don't know. Let's go look at the stack and count them. Maybe you read 5 and you could count that to see together. Hey, how many eggs do we have left in the carton in the fridge? Oh, I don't know. And then you go and you open it and you count them one at a time. And the more that you practice this just in daily life, first of all, it's not going to feel like a chore, so to speak, for your child. They're not going to feel like they're, being given some like big daunting task of a whole bunch of math problems. It's just incorporated into your daily routine in various ways. So that way they're still practicing it without feeling like they're being given a bunch of work to do. And it just is a natural way to incorporate it. Another thing I like to do is actually do different art projects or crafts that require counting. So a really great way to practice this is to give them stickers and say, okay, over here you need to put 5 stickers, and they have to peel them off and put them on, right? That's a really great way. And it's also practicing that fine motor skill of pinching. So there you have it. You have 2 for 1. You have counting and pinching. Boom, you have a really great project to do together. So that's just one way to practice it, is by having some art projects that require counting. Do it in your daily life as you're going through the store, which we're not really doing right now, but how many different kinds of potato chips are there? That's like a really big question, and you can do that. You can explore that together and just incorporate counting into your daily life, and your child is sure to improve on their counting skills. This really doesn't have much to do with number recognition, so they don't really need to know what the number 5 looks like when written, but being able to identify that many something equals 5 is a really important skill. So that's one way to practice your numbers and your one-to-one correspondence, and have fun. Bye.